Hey guys, Evan Green here from Griffin Armament, and today we're going to be talking about suppressor maintenance products that are available on our website, as well as a new service that Griffin Armament has started where consumers who either choose not to maintain their suppressors or run out of time and end up getting their suppressors, full of carbon and stuck. If that's you, you can send your product in to us and we will maintain it for you. So we're gonna be touching on those three topics today. All right, number one is suppressor maintenance products. If you go to our website, griffinarmament.com, under the silencer portion, you're going to find a menu called silencer maintenance. Okay, within that menu, we have a variety of different options for suppressor maintenance that basically covers the gamut on all of our products. Whether or not you have a Sportsman, a Explorer, a Recce can, a Revolution can, whatever Griffin Armament suppressor you have, there will be a product in that menu that will help you maintain it to a higher quality if you want to do that, which I would recommend. So number one, I'm going to be covering these brushes that are in front of me. All right, this is a really nice assortment of products that are available to maintain your suppressors. Here, the smallest guy, we have a 3/4 inch brush. All right, that brush is going to cover the gate lock series products and the bore of those products. So if you have a gate lock product, either a 30 SDK, M4 SDK, or maybe like a QD blast shield, something like that, the 3/4 inch brush is going to help you, clean the bore and make sure that it's free of carbon and copper fouling, so that you have minimal POI shift, easy use in terms of attaching, detaching it, etc. We highly recommend that you keep the attachment surfaces on all Griffin suppressors clean. Okay, so the 3/4 inch version is going to help you with your gate lock stuff. All right, the 1 inch brush that I have now is going to cover the taper mount attachment. So I've got an Explorer can here, and again, very easy. You're just going to run that in there and brush that out, and that will help you maintain and clean the taper as well as the threads inside your taper product, whether that's a suppressor or maybe like a taper mount blast shield, something like that. All right, we again highly recommend that you keep the attachment very clean from copper, carbon fouling, etc., so that you have the least point of impact shift possible, as well as just an easy on-off attachment, so that you don't have to worry about your suppressor getting stuck or something like that to your muzzle device. Okay, people that don't maintain their suppressor attachment interfaces are the people that you commonly see on the internet talking about how they got their suppressor stuck. Whether that's a Griffin silencer or a Surefire can or a Dead Air can or any silencer company that makes silencers. Okay, we all manufacture and engineer functional mounting systems, but those mounting systems need to be maintained. I don't even see a lot of manufacturers talking about that, which is kind of odd. But we sell a large amount of suppressors at Griffin Armament, and there's a very small amount of our consumer base, probably less than 2% of our consumers, that do have issues with their suppressors due to lack of maintenance. And so we have invested some time and resources and energy into not only providing you with these product options, but also the knowledge so that you can properly maintain your product and have a high level of customer satisfaction with your Griffin product. Okay, so moving from this 1 inch brush, which is used for your taper mount stuff, we got a 1 1/4 inch brush. Now the 1 1/4 inch brush is going to be used for the bore, the ID bores, the internal diameter bores of Griffin silencers that are in the 1.375 inch diameter. So I've got a Revolution series, basically our pistol silencers. Okay, I've got a Revolution series pistol silencer in front of me. It's got a 1.375 inch outside diameter, and the 1 1/4 inch brush is going to be perfect for cleaning those thread interfaces as well as inside the deep bore to clean out the entire inside of the tube. Okay, so that's the 1 1/4 inch brush. The 1 1/2 inch brush is going to be used on the ID bores of either the Sportsman cans currently in our line or the Paladin suppressor series. Those are the only products right now that are going to be applicable to the 1.5 inch brush. They're going to help clean that bore. We do have probably some future products that are coming out, and anything that has a 1.5 inch diameter tube approximately, the 1.5 inch brush is going to be good for that bore. Okay, so brushes have been talked about. Moving on, we're going to talk about a couple chemical products that are available on our website under the silencer maintenance category, and that is ST3 and Horse Jibe 2300. Okay, ST3 is essentially a liquid gasket material, so you can apply it with a Q-tip or a paintbrush or something like that, or even your finger. It's fine. I've applied it to this piston housing here, and as you can see, there's a little remnant of that. Now, you'd want to apply it, fully encompass the product with it, let it cure for a couple hours. Once it's cured, you can install that threaded component, and what this is going to do for you is it's going to be a semi-permanent gasket material. So you're going to have multiple installations with this thread, and you're going to be able to lock out gas and carbon and things like that to creeping into that thread form and making it harder to clean your product. So on this pistol suppressor, which is really the recommended use for ST3, we don't recommend that you use ST3 on any dedicated rifle suppressors or any suppressors that would get potentially extremely hot, which is center fire rifle suppressors commonly. Okay, so ST3 is going to be good for your 22 silencers, your rimfire silencers, as well as your pistol suppressors. Okay, and if you're a Revolution user, for instance, let's say you have a Griffin Revolution or Resistance product, something like that, you could put on this thread joint here, the piston retainer thread joint here, the thread joint of your modular extension, the thread joint on your end cap. So anywhere where you see a thread joint, essentially in these pistol suppressors, you could, if you wanted to, apply ST3, and it would make it a lot easier for you to get your product apart at a later date. Now, consumers have used more common products like a standard pipe, white Teflon pipe tape. That's fine. It doesn't work quite as well, but it works pretty good. That's another option that you could use that's available at your local hardware store, for instance. Okay. Moving on from the ST3 is we're going to talk about briefly the Horse Jibe 2300. Okay. This is a 2300 Fahrenheit rated AntiSeize. So it's one of, if not the highest temperature resistant AntiSeizes available. It's pretty hard to find. It's an industrial product, which is why we decided to offer that for you guys on our website, because this is not something that you can really commonly find anywhere other than the internet, but you could potentially find it in larger quantities if you want to. But we do offer it in small, affordable quantities on our website. Okay, so this product is going to be good for, let's say, like your taper mount products. For instance, I've got this taper mount blast shield here. I put a little bit of it on the interface, on the taper mount interface here, after it's of course clean. And now if I put a taper mount muzzle device in here, like I'm attaching it to my host weapon, I go to a range, I shoot it, I get it extremely hot. It's going to be really easy to remove this taper mount product from the taper mount accessory with the use of the AntiSeize. And you don't have to buy our 2300 Fahrenheit AntiSeize. You could get a lower quality AntiSeize at your local hardware store. As long as you're not getting your suppressor super hot, those types of AntiSeizes will work fine too. All right, moving on. We're going to briefly touch on the wrenches that we have available. All right, any silencer from Griffin Armament that requires a tool to use, it comes with those tools. Okay, so if you end up losing them though, for instance, or misplacing your tool, you can go again to the silencer maintenance section that I keep referencing, and you can find those tools that were factory included with your product. And the ones that are not factory included that I have on the table are going to be the Recce Armor's tool, and this is also going to be applicable to your Paladin suppressors and the taper mount blast shield. Now, this is a product that originally we just one-off created for a handful of customers in the first 1,000 units sold that didn't adhere to any maintenance whatsoever, and they ended up locking up their muzzle devices inside their silencers pretty badly. Now, like I said, in the history of the company, only about 1%, 1.5% of customers have ever really needed to use our customer service. But of that very small minority, we do want to provide them with the highest level of customer care possible. And so if you're one of those customers that finds that you're getting the muzzle device stuck for whatever reason, or you get it stuck one time, you can purchase this product off our website to help you remove it. Now, that being said, our muzzle devices come with very clear, concise instructions. The 1/2 by 28 threaded muzzle devices, we recommend that they be installed with a minimum of 35 foot-pounds of torque. And the 5/8 24 versions, we recommend a minimum of 45 foot-pounds of torque. In our history of the 14 years of the company, consumers or dealers who have installed those muzzle devices to their proper minimum torque values, they've never had any issues with them. Now, I know that a lot of consumers do their own gunsmithing, which is fine. However, just keep in mind that if you're not using a torque wrench, or if you're under torquing your muzzle device and you're not installing it properly to the factory recommended specifications, then you may have the issue where you get the muzzle device stuck inside the silencer. In that case, in that instance, hit up the silencer maintenance section of our website, and you can buy these two products. Now, I'll just briefly show you how this would work. If you limp wrist the installation of your muzzle device on your firearm, and then you pull off the muzzle device with your suppressor, you can there's a slot in the rear of the taper mount muzzle devices, and you can remove the muzzle device using these tools. Okay, I usually will vice grip the small taper mount piece into the vise, and then just use the suppressor, typically by hand. You can just remove it. If you need the wrench for whatever reason, because you just reefed the hell out of it, or maybe you ignored maintenance so badly that copper and carbon has really just surrounded that muzzle device and really made it difficult to come off, then these tools are available. Now, I would like to be clear in this video that 98% of customers are never going to really need these tools. However, if you are the type of person who doesn't like to do maintenance, or you don't have time to conduct maintenance, then these tools are going to be really helpful for you. All right, moving on from the wrenches, we're going to talk briefly about pusher tools. Okay, we have pusher tools on the website. I've got one in here in front of me. It's going to include the bolt, this threaded piece, as well as a pusher tool tip. Okay, and I'm going to give you a common scenario. Let's say you went to the range and fired 1,000 rounds or something like that over the course of a couple weekends, and you didn't take your silencer apart for cleaning, and now it's kind of a little bit more difficult to do so. With Griffin's pistol silencers, I recommend that you just get a wooden dowel and a rubber mallet, and you should be able to tap your baffles out pretty easily. Now, again, if you're the type of person that goes 5, 10 range trips without cleaning, or you just do a ton of shooting without cleaning, you may find that you're a customer for this pusher tool. Now, that being said, it's not necessary. I probably wouldn't really use this very often or feel like I need it, but I do a pretty good job of firearms maintenance. Now, if you want to use this pusher tool, you're going to remove the piston retainer here, and you can do that either by hand, or if it's stuck, and you haven't cleaned the product in a while, you can use your wrench here. So you can remove that. Once your piston and retainer are out of the suppressor, or maybe that's your 3-lug kit, maybe you got that stuck in there, whatever. Once this socket is exposed and you get that out of there, then you can grab your pusher tool assembly and install that like such. Screw this piece in, and then using a 3/4 inch driver, and I've got it fixtured up on this screw gun just to show you that this is really fast if you want it to be. We can drive that baffle assembly out very easily. Okay, and this suppressor particularly we fired maybe, I think, probably a little bit north of 500 rounds through it. And so it didn't, really get all that dirty. But as you can see, you can get the baffles out extremely easy, regardless of really how much you've shot. Okay, so there's that. And I would recommend the use of protective gloves, stuff like that when you're using, chemical products, when you're cleaning silencers. There is, lead and things like that that could be unsafe, that are unsafe, for you. So I would recommend, proper protective wear or protective gear. Now with the Sportsman, if you somehow get that locked up, again, there's a pusher tool available for it. And you're going to do the same thing that I did with the last one, where you're going to take your pusher tool, in this case, it's this guy, and you're going to take your pusher tool tip and install it as such. And again, take the front cap off and drive it out just in the same manner. Okay, so that touches on that. If you have an Optimus Micro, for instance, okay, you can take the direct thread rear out of it and use the pusher tool again on that. So the pusher tools are basically a kind of an emergency catch-all tool for people who just have run out of time, and they just have not been able to really properly maintain their gear. And it's going to be a nice tool that you can quickly buy off the website, not very expensive, and get your stuff back into action. So in the second part of this video, we're going to be discussing the new service that Griffin Armament is providing, which is factory silencer maintenance for the price of $149.95 MSRP. We will take in your locked up product, fully disassemble it, clean it, repair it, send it back to you as new, along with instructions on maintaining your suppressor yourself without the use of the factory, just by adhering to a simple maintenance schedule. So thank you for watching, and we will touch on what it is that Griffin does inside to get your product back serviceable as good as new. Thanks.